If you know that there is a city called Mascara in Algeria, then you are either really into beauty products and their history, or you are a player of Victoria 3. In this case, I can firmly assert that it is of course the latter. Today we're going to go out of our way to hopefully protect Mascara and all of Algeria and actually lead them out of a disaster that genuinely is one, because it has to deal with the ultimately worst aspect of Victoria 3, you guessed it, the warfare system. Folks, this save game was sent to me by Deris, and it is a really interesting one because they were going for something called Barbari's Back. If you don't know it, well, there are achievements in Victoria 3, although I know nobody's actually playing these games for that. That achievement requires you to be a major power as Algeria after you, of course, defeat the French and so on. Historically, of course, the destiny of Mascara and of Algeria is pretty clear. Algerian resistance is, of course, ultimately broken and the French take over. Today we want to try to stop this from happening, but yeah, well, we are looking at a war that is already coming for us, so ultimately at the worst case scenario. If we don't survive this in a really good state, we aren't going to make it in this save game. Now, as with the rest of disaster save game analysis, I don't think that matters here too much because nothing that we can do internally can change what is coming for us, because much like a boulder will roll down a hill after you pushed it up there for the 15th time, France will always come for Algeria. The reason here is pretty clear, but especially if you're a new player, this might not be too apparent to you. Mascara over here has this journal entry. It is called the Algerian War of Resistance, and it shows that if we lose the territory that we hold in Algeria, we lose this journal entry, and we will succeed if we take over everything that the French own right here. Normally, there are a few other Algerian miners here that you can see Mascara has already eaten, but obviously we're not looking like we're going to, you know, get ready for a ball here, put the Mascara on and actually succeed at becoming Algeria. Now, I would actually like it if we could form even the Maghreb. That is such a cute realm right there. Take a look at that. Yeah, if I can make it happen, I will. But first, let's understand why there is no choice but to kick out France. See, the same way that we have this journal entry, France also has its very own journal entry. In general, and this is something I think that is a little bit underexplored, there are essentially two measurements that we have with other countries. First of all, there are of course the relations. These relations make it so that we know exactly, hey, how bad is it? Can they outright declare a war against us? For example, most war goals go away if you have a cordial or a better relationship. But what precedes these relations is essentially the attitude. French Republic views Mascara as a target of conquest in geopolitical affairs. They are likely to start a diplomatic play against Mascara if they feel that the odds are in their favor. The strategic desire here is to conquer Mascara. Now, these attitudes, by and large, will precede relation changes just because, well, that is exactly the way that the AI evaluates where it wants to go. Whereas this is the current state of affairs, this is where they want to be. If you, for example, take a look at Prussia and Austria, you can see that they are deeply negative now, but that wasn't always the case because, well, Austria still likes them. It is Prussia that has changed their attitude, and because of this attitude, is now worsening relationships. Now, here's something that the game doesn't really tell you because it would probably get rid of a bunch of your immersion. And that is that in this case, there is literally nothing that we can do to get the French, you know, to not attack us, except for, well, closing out the journal entry and kicking them out of Algeria. You have probably observed this already if you've ever played Mexico. As long as the United States of America have, of course, their journal entry, Manifest Destiny, they are going to push west again and again and again, declaring wars until the end is nigh because they desperately want that land. And that is exactly what is going on here. There is something in the game called AI strategies. Largely, these AI strategies are actually pretty loose. They give you a general feeling as an AI of what you might want to do. But if there is something that is a pressing historical issue, like let's say for example Prussia hating Austria, Prussia going against Denmark and against France and so on, there are very specific AI strategies that essentially lock the AI in that behavior. So as we now take a look at this war right here, we should realize that the Ries should have done everything to prepare against the French because they will keep coming no matter what. But alright, we can't change the past. Now that the AI can split its armies, now that you have stuff like, for example, naval supply lines working much better, it is harder to survive as Algeria, let me just tell you. But I will also say that there were definitely more steps that could have been taken. We can see right here that he has several agreements with the British, just in general to essentially try and come closer to them, maybe ultimately joining the British Empire. I can tell you outright, this is a great power block. Maybe they would vassalize you eventually, but it isn't the worst thing in the world, and at the end of the day, you can can surely get independence anyway. Also, de Ries went for a couple of other treaties right here, right, with other folks, Spain, we got Austria, then we have a quick friendship right here done very recently, just 1 year ago, with Tunisia, which is, well, they're not gonna protect us against France, but I suppose we looked a little bit scarier with them. Now, bad news is, even if we look a little bit scary, unless we look very scary, France will still be aggressive enough to declare wars against us nonetheless. There are two statistics in the files called recklessness and aggressiveness, and both of those are essentially very high because France very desperately wants to close out its historical journal entry. So alright, we could have done a couple things differently, probably worked a bit more with Britain, maybe with Russia, maybe even with the United States of America, try to make some friends here or there, and maybe even declare like a cheeky little war against France relatively early on. None of that happened, but that isn't necessarily the end of the world. When we take a look at this war right here, we can see Mascara Sahara, Mascara in East Sahara, and Oran. Honestly, these locked-in primary demands are the least bad they could have made. Yes, technically speaking, Oran is of course our capital, but take a look at this. It is by far the worst of our 3 major provinces right here, which means we could theoretically just give in, but I think there is at least a better choice. What we are also doing right here is that we are at war with Morocco, and this is a relatively interesting war. We're taking Inner Morocco and Al Rif. They are not bad picks. I can tell you right now that Al Rif here in particular is actually a good pick because it will give us adjacency with the Spanish and the British, making it so that they are more likely to get involved in the future should we need them. That is an interesting thing to see right there. In general, these are good. I definitely also would have preferred, taking land right here. These two provinces, they're more populated, they have a bigger GDP than these right here, probably worth more in the short term, meaning you can exploit them and make a little bit more money, get a few more troops to crush the French. This war, we are clearly winning, you can see it right there. The only thing that I'm going to do, because he is already fully exhausted, I'm just going to tell this guy to chill. What this essentially does is that he is binding these 11 Moroccan troops, making sure that they can't come to the major front line, so I don't need to worry about them, while he can hopefully replenish his troops again. I mean, this right here is pitiful. Now, the truth is in the pudding. How do we survive this? We got Egypt, we got Tunisia, we do not have Great Britain, although I can actually tell you, I think we might be able to make Great Britain work. Many people don't know this, but when it says from ideological differences of our governments, by the way, from nice typo devs, wow, Jesus Christ, this doesn't actually refer to something long-term, so for example your laws, it specifically refers to the interest groups in our government, which currently of course are reactionary. If we had industrialists, which we don't, we could put them into government. We do have the petite bourgeoisie though, making it potentially feasible to actually get Great Britain into this war. We have to figure that out. What else do we have? We have the Austrians down there. Okay, it would be nice if they came in. Listen, I'll be frank with you, diplomatic plays, once they start, there isn't that much that you can do. The intentions are relatively difficult to read. However, and this is very important to actually kind of push into the limelight right here, we are in a position where I know the AI strategy, and that might make it so that we can exploit this at least a little bit. Think about it this way. There is absolutely nothing that Austria will want for us except maybe becoming their protectorate. Their AI strategy is very kind of, just sitting back, not doing too much. If you take a look at it right here, they have the maintain balance of power. Generally, they don't want to take a lot of land, they don't want to take a lot of vassals, they just want to relax. The British, however, have economic imperialism. They love colonies and they love protectorizing other people as well. Both of those very important to them, in particular because they actually, I assume anyway, have a technology at this point already that lets them, further do imperialism in this part of the world, making it so that their AI strategy gets enhanced. The way this works is that all provinces in the world get a weighted kind of balance where the AI goes, hey, this matters to me a lot, or this doesn't matter a lot to me, and we can use this in our favor. We are unrecognized, and we are actually in a position where, yoink, look at that, de Ries right here has taken, indeed, Lorenzo Marquez, so he was trying to go for Transvaal and for Oranje. This is good, because we might want to offer them that, or alternatively, let me just pump that in there, we are going to take a couple of colonies here in territory that we definitely cannot afford to have colonies in, but that doesn't really matter, because all I care for is that I might be able to trade this with the British. If you haven't seen it, I did an Australia video very recently where I traded to the British all the time Eastern New Guinea right here, because Eastern New Guinea is a colonial territory. The British wanted a lot of colonies, and so they helped me in massive wars for one tile of one of the worst islands in the game. So, what am I saying? I am saying that these two here aren't enough. I might want to get them on board, but we're definitely dying towards the French. I do want to make it clear as well, there's a really good chance that we're still going to die, even if we get the help of Austria or Great Britain or any of the other people, although they seem all very, very unlikely to actually be successes here. The reality is, if I was the British player, all I would do is I would join that war, right? I might take Mascara as my protectorate, and then I would put my fleet right here into blockade mode. These people here would starve, and the Mascarans could push north as much as they wanted to. I don't think the AI is going to do this. They don't prioritize these kind of war goals like this if it isn't their own territory, right? So they will likely not send enough troops to make this happen. Now, me saying this should probably make you go, wait a minute, but if the AI, even Great Britain, won't help you enough, then how do we make this happen? Why would this save us even if they don't show up to the front line or to the sea node enough to stop the French Republic from advancing and taking our territory? And you know what, before I tell you this, let me just check this. I think this is all okay. I'm gonna stop building this for now. Still seemed pretty cheap, all things considered. Yeah, we're gonna be good here, I think. We should be in the plus. Let me just quickly examine this right there. Oh yeah, that hurts. That really hurts. We don't have anything to offer. We don't even have mobile artillery. And yeah, we are missing all of these technologies. These are what we need. There aren't really that many alternatives. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, these are good to build up your economy, but you want to kick out France as quickly as you can in this game, because then their attitude can change and you can stop worrying about them. For the time being, I'm just going to invest in this, just, you know, to keep it going, to get it going right here. And then lastly, I think, let's take a look at, yeah, look at that. We are going to go ahead and just get as many conscripts as I humanly can right here. And I think this is a little bit of a massacre, I think. But alright, as I unpause it now and this starts kicking off, let me tell you why I yet have hope. So, for starters, we're going to get in the period where we could invite people. Let's take a look at this, right? So there are a couple of things that I want out of this. We're not going to win this war either way, I can guarantee you this. Again, if we had very strong allies, if we had our own fleet, I think the fleet is the defining factor here, if you ask me, especially in the early game. We would have pretty competitive troops, but yeah, we don't have any of this. We're just looking at trying to stalemate this out and maybe prolonging the peace period that follows as much as we can so that we can prepare going forward. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make, first of all, the armed forces incredibly happy, because that gives us some extra offense and defense that we will desperately need. Ooh, National Guard, that does sound really nice. Oh, per capita taxation. Oh, I can't do it right. We don't have the right law. That's okay. Let's go with National Guard. I mean, why wouldn't we? We could go with censorship. That's okay. National Guard it is, and then I'm going to reform my government, okay? Because like I said, I want the petite bourgeoisie so that the British like me more. When the British AI now looks at me, they will go like, wow, what a westernizing kind of country. They are so nice. No, I'm lying to you, Britain. And that lie works out just fine. We went from what, -104 or something to -10. All of a sudden, Britain is a lot more in our favor. This is one of those things that most people never utilize because they don't see just how big the impact of that can be. Now, what do you want? They would be happy, oh, and there you go, with the Niger Delta. And they would be happy with Lorenzo Marquez as well. So this is actually a province that they want. They obviously want it because they already hold land in this territory, making it so that they have basically an AI interest in there as, you know, colonizing it fully. We could give them either of those. Now, I will tell you, if this was any other circumstance, if we were any other country, I might facilitate this. I might go ahead and press that button, but I actually think becoming a protectorate is objectively the best choice that we currently have. I told you this earlier. I essentially said, hey, we are probably going to lose that war. I don't think that we are going to succeed in this. Now, what changes if I call in Britain? The reason here, and this is why I talked about AI strategy this much earlier, is that France and Britain also hate each other. Take a look at these country relations, and then they even have, there it is, an antagonistic attitude. This could make it so that if I am the underling of Britain, France might add war goals against Britain that it cannot enforce, and since I'm the underling of Britain, to get my land, they would also have to capitulate Britain, and I can get away scot-free. I mean, I will be sieged down fully, but, you know, it is what it is. So, in short, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to become their subject. I could get away very cheaply with the Niger Delta, but like I said, ultimately that just means we can be capitulated, and I don't think that the British AI is intelligent enough in warfare to actually keep me safe. So, I'm going to go ahead and sway you with a protectorate right here. Maybe we will get lucky in other ways, but for the time being, I just want to survive. There is Egypt trying to make me an offer as well. Where are the British? And there is Great Britain. Great Britain Britain sides with Mascara. They have joined us with all their might. Now again, the British fleet would be big enough to just park themselves in this node and win this war entirely, but sadly I don't think we're going to get this done. But take a look at this. This is what I was hoping for. The French immediately added a war goal for Cochin, which I think is in India somewhere. Hello. Oh yeah, there it is. This right here is Cochin, and we are going to get away with this. To win this war now, since I'm a vassal of the British, the French need to be able to take all war goals that they have on British people and their subjects, which in this case, since it is Cochin, seems very, very unlikely. I think we just made it happen. Now, you know, I was thinking about this. I could try to go for all of these. Oran, Algiers, Constantine. It's literally just these locations, but chances are I'm not getting this. You know what I'm thinking? I think I might get ultra cheeky right here, which is liberate Algeria, because this war goal is much, much easier to achieve. Look at this. I would have to occupy all of these to get all of these war goals. If I'm missing one, I can capitulate France. In this one, it reads, Mascara and its allies control at least one French state that can be released as part of Algeria. I just need a single French state that can have this done. I think this is going to be really, really good. I think I might actually get a free Algeria that I can then annex and hopefully then still can become Algeria. Now, do I want anything else here? Listen, the answer is very, very clear. No, you don't want to get anything else, because if you do this, you cannot capitulate the French, and you will have zero shots at actually making this happen. But I think this is about everything that I'm going to do. We're going to get the massive patriotic fervor bonus here, of course, from the armed forces. It would be nice if they were powerful, so if they were at about 20% clout, but obviously we can't achieve that this quickly. We are conquering Morocco. I think we're going to finish this war roughly when we actually have, of course, when the war against France starts. Now, let me double check this right here. Can I invite Egypt like for cheap? Oh yeah, obligation. Easy peasy. Why wouldn't I do it? Maybe we even get an additional war goal right there. And then we can't get Tunisia, but honestly, I don't care about Tunisia. Right, and so we are now pushing in. Oh, and I am already earning recognition, huh? I mean, it's not really working right now, but they changed the requirements. I know that much, and I don't feel like... And I think they made it like significantly easier. We're gonna see about this. I would love to get offer embassy. Yeah, I think we can get recognized very easily. Okay, interesting. If we were to win this war, France's journal entry would close and they immediately would stop being so aggressive towards us. So releasing Algeria and then conquering Algeria might actually be the best choice possible. All I need is one province. I just need one of these ports and then we got it. That would be really nice. Now, Morocco right here is losing exactly as quickly as I had hoped they would. They had, of course, nothing at this front line anymore. Somebody made a really good video on how the reinforcement rates do not work properly in Victoria 3 and haven't worked properly for quite some time. Meaning that once you have the upper hand at a front line, well, things are looking pretty well. I can tell you already, by the way, this is a huge issue. The fact that nothing here is researched means that we are even slower at reinforcing our troops. Yeah, I don't want to have that much war. If we could just get Algeria and be out of here, I would be a huge fan. And for starters, by the way, I am going to just station myself in Gibraltar over there. The idea here is, I think we're going to lose the coastline, but afterwards I should be able to at some point invade one of their ports if, you know, the French don't have a navy right there. And if I could do this, I can probably do it unopposed and get away with it. Man, that would be the dream. If I could actually capitulate them, I would lose my mind. Getting out of this with a success rather than a complete failure. Let's finish the war in Morocco. That is beautiful. I'm just going to make sure now that we do actually... Let's see, which troops do we need and where do we need them? I think I'm going to dissolve this army. That is okay. I just need like a really big army here. Yeah, I'm going to dissolve you as well. And then I'm going to set aside like one guy with like one line infantry. I'll put you right there. Okay, how about that? This guy is the invasion army. He will save our lives. I already know he will. I'm going to station you as well. Yep, that is perfect in Gibraltar. There you can go. Just hang out, okay? Just have a good time. We're going to see how this goes. Yeah, this is our Emir. Take a look at this. Expert defensive strategist. It is amazing what he has right there. Can we hold with these stats? Maybe we can. We gotta give it our best shot. That's really the only thing that I can do here anyway. Ah, man, it's taken us such a long time, and that is putting me into a deficit right there. We are luckily now a part of the British market, making a lot of things easier going forward, and even for this war, we don't have shortages on, you know, artilleries and such. Listen, I want to be frank as well. It would, of course, be ideal if you don't have to become the protectorate of anybody, but for the time being, I think this is our only option unless we want to lose half our country. All right, now I will only be defending... Oh, where are you coming from? I'm gonna send you to this army. That's okay. I want you to only defend, and I don't actually want anybody else to steal my troops. If the AI gets any ideas and starts to push in, I don't don't want to be a part of this because that could spell doom for us. And here is the war, my friends. I don't know whether we're gonna win this. This is really, really bad what we see right there, right? You know, no, okay, they have their navy out. Oh, look at all these. I think these are all the ships that they are sending out to Algeria. This is literally the invasion fleet. That is so good. I really love the visuals in this game. My god, look at that. But sadly, yeah, this isn't looking too hot. We are defending. It's General Malcolm Elmsley. Things are looking okay. If we can just hold it. Is that Cochin? Cochin actually showed up because they're a direct war goal, I guess. Let's hope that things will work out. If he ever moves this fleet away, like I said, all Britain actually needs to do is have one fleet here, just a tiny fleet, please, I beg you. And then we could make this happen. Luckily, they are not blockading us here, which would spell doom for the British as well. Oh yeah, and look at that. The Egyptians are attacking. You're so stupid, bro. You're so dumb. You're such a dummy. If they just moved away their fleet, but instead the British are like, I have to invade northern France. We are holding, we are doing okay. You can see that I'm the primary member right here, but if we actually take a look at this, right, you can see right here. Yeah, you can see right here, and its allies control Oran. This will bring down the British if it were successful, but they do need Cochin, which they're definitely not getting. Man, let me just liberate Algeria, brother. That's all I need to do. Oh, the navy is gone again. Oh, the navy is actually gone this time. Okay, folks, this time for real, I promise. This time, we're gonna do it. Get in there. Crush them. Oh, and we're starting to lose our first battles. Yeah, that's not good. That is awful. That is very, very bad. Despite the better stats here, technically speaking, we are in the better numbers right there. I think we are gonna die. Let's figure this out. Let's see what's happening here. We have a perfect front line. Okay. Okay. No enemy armies. All right, okay. Are you still preparing? What is happening here? Oh, the navy is coming back. Ah, the navy is coming back. I'm gonna leave. Okay, you know what? I'm out of here. I'll get it one day, but the day isn't today. Oh, wait. We took French Iran. It's already over. When did we take this? It is over. Oh my god, I just need to hold. Ooh, head on over there, buddy. Defend the front line. Oh my god, French Iran actually fell. Algeria will be liberated. I probably could have taken it directly now that I'm looking at this, but you know what? This is okay. Better safe than sorry, and that is what I will always recommend to anybody playing this video game, because you never know what is going to happen next with the AI, and we might yet lose that location right there. A free Algeria means France leaves me alone, and I can kill Algeria on my own time. Oh my god, yeah, this is, it's very, very close. They just don't have that many troops right here. Again, the French would literally be dead if we had a friendly British Navy right there, but it is what it is. You can't have everything. And there we now go. This is our very first army attacking here. Oh, what are you doing? Are you doing... They are doing blockading. That should spell doom for the French. Let me examine this. Yes! Oh, that is so good. Okay, so their supplies are now going down. Their organization is going down. If they just keep... Oh, did I... If they just keep their navy here, the French are actually cooked. Oh, and I am seeing the opposite. Why are we getting cooked now? Oh, they're sending so many troops here. Get away, please. I beg you. Wait, you want tenant farmers? What do we have? Homesteading? I don't think so, buddy. Get out of here. Oh, this is so bad. They're all gonna arrive here, and the British Navy left. No way. That is so awful. All they needed to do, literally, was stay there. And instead, they're gone now. Come on. Alright, well, luckily, apparently, even if your navy is defeated, you just continue with the invasion? I mean, I guess we already landed, but okay. Whatever you say, man, I'm gonna take it. Now, speaking of taking it, let's try another invasion here. I'm cheesing this like crazy, but listen, I just want to get away with the W here. That is the only thing that matters to me. They seem to have taken away like a bunch of their troops here again as well. You know what? It is what it is. I'm okay with this. Yeah, look at that. We actually conquered. Oh, I could have just taken this directly. I'm happy with what I get. This is good enough for me. Oh, and it's already done. Liberate Algeria. Humiliate French Republic. Get them out of here. The Mascara and British Treaty of Commerce and... Wait, what? I become immediately recognized? What? Is something broken here? Alright. That's convenient. Wait, what? Wait, did that happen? Wait, but did the journal entry isn't even closed. I don't know how that happened. Oh, enforcing war goals on a great power. Jesus Christ. I see what happened there. That's insane. That is so undeserved. But I'll take it. We enforced 2 war goals on the French Republic. And that's what it did. We could have done this. So now that I'm seeing this, I think we could have done this without becoming a protectorate and while actually just annexing this stuff. I'm good though. I'm okay. This is fine. This is cool. I have no concerns, okay? What I want to do now right away is I actually want better relations with the French because, hey, we don't have to hate each other anymore. Your journal entry, my friend, it definitely has failed, right? Let me double check this. We can see this here. Oh, I'm not seeing... There it is. The Algerian fiasco. Yeah, They closed the journal entry, which means they will no longer have an AI strategy that is incredibly aggressive towards me. I can just ignore that. I am recognized. My god, this is so overpowered. That's actually nuts. Alright, worsen relations with Algeria. Obviously, I need to kill Algeria, so you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. We also passed National Guard, which is awful for my bureaucracy household. Let me check this here. Man, this is just a normal and like a really strong game now. Seriously, like, isn't that insanely strong? We're just sitting here now as a recognized nation in 1853. Alright, well, in the British market, might I add as well. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. I think what pretty much carried us here is actually this guy's amazing stats, right? This right here, plus 30% defense, is crazy. Hey, I'll take it. Then we got the morale loss and morale recovery, also really, really nice. Yeah, okay. That's strong. That's really good. I don't think we're going to see Britain building in us for too much. How are we doing in terms of independence? We're doing great. This is actually really nice. We don't have much economic dependence, just in general. Yeah, we're doing okay. Now, the one negative is that we only have 70% market access to the British market. They need to get their convoys under control, but I think eventually they're gonna get that done. Surely they wouldn't leave me hanging like this. Now, who I want to see hang is, yeah, of course, it's Transvaal, right? How are you doing? You're an insignificant power. Why can't I be doing annex country? Because we're too good, I see. Now, here is what I would like to do. Take a look at Oman. They have amazing land. They will split before long, but they have Zanzibar, right? This entire Kenya coastline. Then they have this port in Persia, and they are insignificant. I'm gonna annex this country for a meager 13.3 infamy. How couldn't I? And then let's see whether I can't get... Oh, yeah, this is what I'm thinking about. Mascara, Niger, Delta. I need an interest, like real desperately, in New Guinea. So that I can do the trade yet again. Listen, I'm not gonna do it this exploit heavy. Let me just see. I'm gonna call in the British. Why not? You know what? You can have New Guinea. That's okay. I didn't want it anyway. Sorry, you can have the Niger Delta. Oman is good real estate. I mean, this right here is also peak, right? You definitely, yeah, you gotta have it. Oh, and look at that. The Egyptians have called me in against the Ottomans. Based on an obligation right there. Well, it is what it is, you know. I'm not gonna get involved in this. I don't care. Oh, and look at that. The Ottomans have called in Tunisia here. You know, yoink. No war goals against me. I'm out, baby. I'm not fighting this. What do you mean African colonies completed? Is it because Oman... Did they have a journal entry for Zanzibar? You know, I'm not gonna think about this. How are you doing? 5 years. Yep, that is pretty quick. What the hell is this? A Great Qing? Investment rights? Supporter... Okay. Are you giving me money or... I'm giving you money? I mean, I guess. Honestly, there are way worse things. That's okay. What the hell is this American war? Conquer Aquitaine? Why are you going in for Aquitaine? I guess it's nice land, you know? They got nice people down there. What can you say? Oh my god, look at these deals. Yeah, I'll take it. Why not? You can support my independence. We're gonna rise now, I suppose. Not that I want to be independent anytime soon. We are also making good progress with the French. They haven't flipped their attitude now, but whenever they get their next, you know, check for that, I think it's going to be in our favor. Oh, well, that's not great. You know, you do you. Not my issue. You know what is my issue? Transvaal. I think I should own Transvaal. The AI really loves this particular treaty, huh? I'll take it. That's okay. I'll pay 1k if that means that you support my independence. If we can get France on board here, I can become independent very, very quickly. Especially given how weak the British seem, but you know, that's not my problem. What is this? East India Modernist Revolt. That's a really interesting rebellion. Okay, well. And yoink. Don't mind if I do. Algeria hereby attacks Algeria. We will not lose Algeria. It's a couple years later than it needed to be, just because I played it safe there. But you know what? This is nice. This is very cheap. It's very easy. I don't need to worry about anything at all. And it meant that the entire time I was able to actually better my relations with France. Before long, they're gonna stop being belligerent and we actually have a future. There they go. It's done. Algeria has been eaten. Let me see this. We have formed Algeria. I can still form it. Yes, I can. Oh, okay. That was my one worry. There you go. A glorious union has emerged. Where's my flag? Is this my flag? The sand settles. With the invaders banished from Algerian shores and order restored across the land, Sultan Abdelkader ponders his next move. What shall become of Algeria? Let's see. I orient my face towards him who created the heavens. Oh, theocracy. That is cool. Out with the old. We shall build a new Algeria. No, we're going theocracy. Why wouldn't you? That's awesome. Okay. I will claim everything that lies to my west. Of course I will. And they are even unrecognized. I can just annex country outright. Hell yeah, brother. I'm going. Let's take him. You know, I do really feel like this should have changed our flag and something broke there. Maybe because I'm a vassal of the British. I'm not sure, but you know, it doesn't matter to me. That's okay. I have to go eastwards here at some point as well, by the way. Obviously, that is going to play a pretty big role for us. Wait, my name is just Maghreb right now? But I'm not even Maghreb, though. Excuse me? But I'm not the Maghreb. Oh, well. I think this right here, the Morocco thing, was also a good showcase of why we probably shouldn't have gone for this war in the first place, right? If you kick out France early, you get these claims, and then everything is a lot easier there. I really want to just point out, the annex country war goal is insane. Do it whenever you can. And yeah, they don't... What is this flag? You know, the game is not broken, so I'll just take it the way it is. Now, I think our next best move is to go against the Ottomans. I am watching the British right here. They are currently in a war with France. Once that is over, I am going to go in for Tripolitania for sure. Tripolitania and Tunisia would be amazing as taking it over, right? So I'm going to do whatever I can to make that happen. And then we're going to form the Maghreb, hopefully get a new flag, and we go from there. Let's see whether we can figure that out. Oh, and you know what? I'm completely forgetting what to do with our laws right here. We could do landed voting, but honestly, I feel like landed voting at this point in the life cycle of the game is one of the biggest trap options, just because, you know, it traps you exactly where you are. And what did I tell you? The only important part was getting France away from their journal entry. They have become conciliatory. We're looking towards a good future, and I think soon-ish also even independence from Britain, although for the time being, I would love to keep using them here. Once this was over, Tripolitania will, of course, be frightened from the Maghreb and the Great British might. All right, let's see. Tripolitania, can I eat you? Can I just have all of your property? Would you allow this? Well, we're at it. You know what? Can I just get Tunisia? That would be so nice of you. And I think that's literally everything that I want, because we're just going for the Maghreb here. I don't care about anything else. Oh, they're allied to the Ottomans. Somebody should have checked that, huh? Somebody should have probably checked that, huh? Sheesh. That's a stupid mistake. That's a really stupid mistake that I made there. But okay, you know, it is what it is. We are pushing in, right? We are not even getting the armed forces bonus. Wait a minute. I can easily get that, and I think we can just win this on our own. Maybe? Yeah, okay, you know what? We're just gonna win this on our own. I don't need Britain. Honestly, I probably should be independent of Britain. We do now have support independence from France as well, which is really, really amazing. Let's take a look at these countries. Great Qing, Russia, Austria, French Republic, they all hate Britain. Now, I do really like being in the British market, but to get the achievement that we're going for, I obviously need to actually be a major power, which you can't be if you're a vassal. We're gonna see how this continues. Right now, I am going to get very close to forming the Maghreb, I think. What is carrying us right now is that I have a good historical general, this guy right here, General Sheikh Mohammed Al-Mokrani, but maybe even more important, quite frankly, is just this right here, right? We now have the next training method, making it much, much easier for us to keep pushing. I love it. I don't even know what I was worried about. Oh, how am I losing this? No, I'm not giving you a white piece. Get out of town, buddy. So many native rebellions. Very, very annoying here. And here we go. That's an amazing peace deal. Wow. That's actually really good. We have this now. We are already called Maghreb again still. Tunis is our direct vassal, and I'm just gonna keep them where they are. This is nice. Nothing wrong with this. We can now also form the Maghreb. Oh, if I had pan-nationalism, that is so far away. That is so far away. Okay. Oh, and that is a crazy German war here. So yeah, they are unifying or trying to unify with them, but they are fighting every last German minor. If Prussia pulls this off, I mean, I would be very impressed. I don't think they will, though. There is actually no shot. I think the Germans are winning this. Or, well, the Prussians are winning this. Alsace-Lorraine seems to be falling. There is no way. Wait, what are you doing? You enforced military access over Perak? I'm not even near Perak. Alright, well, I wish I didn't have to do it to him. Making our way downtown all the way to Hejaz. Medina and Mecca obviously needs to be ours. We are just normal Sunni, right? Yeah, we are Sunni. There you go. Let's make it happen. So, and I actually think that I can get really cheeky here if I declare war on Hejaz. And then, obviously, currently they are a vassal of Egypt. Make it so that Egypt has to release Sudan and whatnot. I might be able to weaken them so much that I can just annex them, you know, like a second later. I think it's a good idea. You know what? Let's try it. Annex country right there. Boom. Let's go. Yep. Egypt, you are about to get cooked, buddy. And let's see whether they even take the war. Just losing this is way less bad than also losing Sudan. I would love it if you lost Sudan, though. I think that would be oh, no. Yep, there they go. Okay, let's take it all from them. And now I'm sorry to say this to Laith, but his time has come. Tunisia will be mine as well. Oh, and this is a really interesting bug. I didn't know that this existed. I declared an annexation play against Tunisia, and all of my supporters of my independence have come in to destroy Tunisia. Huh. I didn't know it worked that way. That's pretty interesting. That is so crazy to exploit. Jesus Christ. I guess the script must say something like, join every play where somebody gets annexed or downgraded in this that this country is also participating in. That's honestly the only way that I can read that. It's pretty insane, but all right. What is this? You want Maghrebi Zambezia. Wait, what? You want to give me this, and I give you Zambezia. Oh, that's an amazing deal. Yeah, I'll do this. That's fine. That looks good. I like it. Now, here's a little funny trick that I learned when I was playing multiplayer. This island right here, Socotra, is actually connected to the Horn of Africa, but it technically belongs to Yemen, which means I can do a land invasion from Yemen into East Africa. And I mean, why wouldn't I, right? Let's hop in there. Oh yeah, and proportional taxation passing is massive. We have a really easy ride ahead of us, in particular, of course, because everything that I'm integrating here is very, very fast incorporated, because it's just 5 years. We just know each other that well. Now, the bad news is I don't think Egypt is going to drop below regional power here, which means that I cannot just full annex them, but it should still be okay. Sudan, at the very least, we can full annex. I'm gonna make my way through this territory, and sooner rather than later, we're gonna move against Britain. Oh, and Britain just screws me over right here. They joined this war, which is, by the way, very funny. So Germany is going for all of the Baltics right there. But they forced me in via enforced military access, making it so that now all of my sponsors and guarantors hate me. It's, you know, classic stuff right there. Either way, I'm just blobbing in Africa. This is none of my concern. Wait, Egypt is in this? Oh, hello. And I can finally click this button for Maghreb. And we get a different flag. Okay, this time it actually worked. That is really nice. We have done it, and I think that is the last one for us. Sadly, I can't do like the caliphate or something. That would have been cool. So that means my only goal now is to kind of make our borders nicer and to get free from the British. Let's make it happen. Now, I think this war is the perfect opportunity. The Germans and the French are yet again going at it, and the British are involved. I'm gonna go ahead and demand my independence. Let's do this. Maybe, hopefully. Let's finally get some mercy and peace right here. Man, these people all hate me. Sadly, Russia has forfeited me, but we got the Great Qing, the French Republic, Austria, myself, of course, the Netherlands, Australia. Let's just see what happens. I think things are looking okay. The British, as I said, are, of course, busy all the way up here in Germany. Now, France seems to be losing because I got involved there. Let me see. Germany didn't actually come into this. I think we got this. Like, we're doing this one. I am taking the Sinai. That is one of the war goals that I did add. We just left the market, of course. You can see what happened there. That is pretty standard. I took a lot of precautions there. I made sure that I would build a ton of trade centers wherever they could be. I think surely we're going to see that investment, you know, we're going to see this coming back kind of into our direction here. I'm going to subsidize it, just import whatever we need, and let's hope that it pans out. When you are as big as I am, this is a pretty messy war goal, right? Because to achieve this, I need to maintain control of all Maghrebi states, which is unhinged. I have states like in so many different areas, but I think we are doing okay. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, thank God, they're ignoring me. This is the one state that I might be losing here. Why do I have this much infamy, by the way? I don't think that I deserve... Okay, there must be a bug there. Whatever. So I did accidentally lose this right here, Maghrebi, Inner Mauritania, and then, of course, West Sahara. I think in like 2 seconds I have it, though. I got all of this under control. India, as you can see, is burning. I don't even want to know. Oh my God, how many? Yeah, this is... Jesus Christ. This type of devastation is genuinely leaving, you know, people starving and perishing here. I just need to retake this. Sadly, we seem to be getting kind of unlucky in the battles chosen for us here. What are we looking at? We had 49%. Come on, let's make this happen. Get it done. Oh, and there we are. They sent me a nonsense peace deal here. Of course, I'm not going to take this. I want independence and I want Sinai. Luckily, the Chinese are still with me. They are the greatest ally of the Maghreb. That is all I can say. I don't know what is up with that infamy, by the way. That is actually insane. Where did I get this from? I don't think an independence play brings you up to like 40, 50. That's crazy amounts of infamy. Anyway, we're looking at victory. It just is gonna take some time. I should have also gotten, just for the record, some type of reparation, but you know what, I don't care. Give me the Sinai, give me independence, and I will give you peace. What are the actual death statistics right here? We have a ton. Jesus, look at the Great Qing wounded. Look at the Great Qing dead. Yeah, you know, China, you are my strongest ally, but maybe you should have just been sitting on the defensive. And there we go. Oh, baby. Major power completed. We have finally done it. The Maghreb is independent. Does it change like a lot in our favor? No, not at all. Our market is looking so bad. There's not really a lot of else that I can say there. I need to produce more paper. I have, of course, pushed it as much as I can, but you know what? Pump out that paper and maybe we're not going to go bankrupt, but I wouldn't want to put my money on this. Oh, you know what it was? There must have been a treaty. Oh, was it? There's no way that it was my alliance with India. I had an alliance with India and they at some point stopped supporting my independence, which meant that they were on the British side. Oh, what a niche case. What a silly niche case. That, of course, now slows me down. Yeah, that's annoying. Listen, I'm just gonna say it. I think the AI is being very friendly to me right now because we have two wars going against Egypt. One is Greece. This is so cute. They are going for Crete together with the Russians. I love it. And then the other one is just the Ottomans humiliating Egypt. If they do this, Egypt will fall to being insignificant and I can just annex them. So thank you very much. It's an odd war, but I'll take it. And don't mind if I do. Where's the war goal? There it is. How much is it? 54 infamy? I have to do it for the borders. It just looks so much nicer. Let's get them. Was lange währt, wird endlich gut. Oh, these borders are gonna be so good. You wouldn't believe it. Isn't this the flag, by the way, of the Almoravids, I want to say? Maybe it's just a general Maghreb flag, but I could have sworn that it specifically actually is the Almoravids. Oh well. Now that right here is a good big name. Folks, I think I have shown you that this was easily a feasible playthrough right here. We made it happen. Initially, of course, there was a lot of, you know, questionable stuff going on there, but in the end, we came through. And you know what? Actually, before I end it, let me just become a great power right here. I would prefer... I think I just need to change the government wages there. Yeah, there you go. We have become a great power, folks. This was great fun. I think Algeria is a really fun nation. We're probably going to play some Morocco going forward as well. Don't forget to send me your disaster saves, but for the time being, let's take a look around. Oh, that is disgusting. This is pretty good. That's neat. Yeah, you know what? This world, I will rate it an 8 out of 10. Folks, I'm going to leave it right here, and I'll see you later, alligator.